I'll get this together. Typically, like it's $150 to install toilet. Okay. And then my hourly rate is $85 an hour. Okay. So then to plumb the other two, probably 2 hours.
Yo. What's happening? Hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to make sure. Okay, they are there. It's going to be a whole bunch of Koopala Loopala on here, but at least I got them. All right. What's happening, y'all? My bad on the late start. I had to absolutely show you guys something, and I wanted to make sure that I had I could present it in a way to where if the McDonald's Wi-Fi was hitting, then I could get around that. So I did. But man, what a freaking day in court today! Holy crap! Let me give you the whole breakdown. This was wild. Talk about all the way. Talk about at left field. Can you hear me? Okay. So talk about getting thrown out of left field. Let me explain all this. So we took the L, but I took the L on a crazy default. So let me put this on the screen first and foremost so you guys can see it. So before I go any further, let's rewind back on this. I want to take you through this whole thing and explain it all, right? So I took an L. I got a 2-year restraining order. The most basic thing here, I'll go over it. It's nothing more than what was already in motion. But going back to this thing, right? You know, I don't even know how I feel. Well, I feel some type of way about this because of how things played out. And let me explain so you can understand my frustration with how today went down. You know, you guys viewed everything. Y'all saw it with your own eyes. I had contacted a lawyer, right? And this lawyer, right? I'm in contact with this guy, right? I'm talking about hours on the phone with this guy. I sent him all types of crap, right? Not only me, Noel is talking to this guy. You know, you guys know I work a second shift. So when I have to go to work, if the dude needs something, if he's unsure about something, Noel is right there, bam, 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 to give it to him, right? So, and he was some semi affordable, I guess you can say, right? This whole thing has been crazy expensive. But anyway, so just bringing you back, remember, I get served this thing and the next day that I have court. Like literally, I'm served this thing. I don't run from it. I don't, you know, I'm not dodging it. But so I get it in the late afternoon. And the following day I have court. So the following day I ask for a motion to continue because I need a lawyer to represent me on this, right? Just taking you back a little bit, right? Now, you guys already know the history, all this. So I'm talking to this lawyer. I'm sending him all this stuff. I'm explaining everything to him, all this crap, right? Monday, this week, Monday night, this is what I get. This guy had ample time to like review everything. Monday night, you know, we have court in a couple of days. We go to pay him, right? This is what I get Monday night. And if I dox myself, I could care less. You guys already know that. I just want to know if you can see it. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. So I get this email Monday night. I have court Thursday. Hopefully I got this right. Can I look at the top there, who it's from, the date and the time. So I get, I've considered your case very carefully, and for professional reasons, I will be not representing you in this case. I've called Glantz Law Firm and informed them that I'm declining representation. You must contact them as soon as possible to be assigned to another attorney. Is that a redo? Okay. Another attorney. Okay. I guess I hit that twice or whatever. Okay, next one. Come on. Okay, please be advised that law firm Adrian R. Castro, PA, has not been retained or is that you? Case number, blah, blah. So blah, 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 blah. This is what I get Monday night after talking hours with this guy. After trying multiple times, we're talking to him. This guy is telling me he's going to put a continuance in because he wants to debunk all the claims. He's telling me all this stuff, right? And we keep trying to pay him, this and that. I have no clue what happened with this guy. If you want a wild guess from me, I think that he had full intentions on doing it. And I think at like the last moment, this is just a guess. I have no clue. At the last moment, like he got a big case. Or I don't fucking know what happened. This guy just bails on me on Monday night. Monday night, I have court Thursday. So I can't even do anything. And this email is sent late Monday night. So I can't even do anything until Tuesday. So I have 2 days. This was referred to me, this lawyer. It was within reason. I've never seen nothing like this before. But this happened. So I file for a continuance because I want representation, right, on this matter. Let me just hit some of these comments real fast, and then we'll continue this horrific story. But I mean, I did halfway decent today. I'll tell you the whole thing. So yeah, it's wild. I was talking to this guy and out of left field, he says, for professional what does that mean? Why didn't you look this over in a day or so? You said no. Why are you asking for all this information? I mean, if anything, he's at a negative on all the hours of conversation between me and Noel, sending him everything, explaining everything. It's crazy, but he sends us that, right? So I'm down the dick. So I file at that point. This is Monday night. Nobody's even open to say anything until Tuesday. Court is Thursday. So I file for a continuance, right? I filed for continuance. Here goes yesterday. I'm following up on it. I'm calling the clerk. I'm doing all this. We use the portal. It is accepted that the motion is accepted, but there's no ruling on it. 1 o'clock comes. I'm calling. 2 o'clock comes. I'm calling. 3 o'clock comes. I'm calling. 4. Blah blah. 5 o'clock they close. 5 o'clock. There's nothing done on the motion. There's not a yes, I approve this. There's not a or I deny this. There's nothing done, right? So I'm like, man, I'm going to have to go into court and ask the judge for a continuance. And when I filed the motion, I included that email, which was super long. I put on the screen. I included the full email, which included the date and time he told us and bailed, right? So, I'm thinking that we should get a continuance on this, right? I need, representation, right? But just to be safe, I've put a few other motions in case it was denied, right? And again, there was zero plan for me to like go in there and represent myself. Zero. That was never the plan. We had always been talking to this guy, Rick Castro. If you want, look him up. Check the Google review I left him, and the bar complaint that I left him. But yeah, this guy is a clown, right? I got this referral from something that I'm that I belong to, a membership, whatever, where they referred him to me. So it's not so when I put that on the screen, let's do that again. As you see this on the screen, his name is Rick Castro. That's the lawyer, right? But come on, let's go with this guy. Okay, right here. So I was referred to him from Glantz Law, right? Glantz Law referred me, right? And I had a conversation with that firm, right? So, there's almost like two firms involved in this. Now, I called Glantz on Tuesday, and they're like, what the hell? We don't know what happened. We apologize. We're sorry. We're going to get you a referral immediately. And I'm like, hey, man, I got court in 2 days. They're like, well, you might have to ask a continuance for yourself. I'm like, well, what kind of service is this? I'm paying to be protected legally. And, I can't tell, but, make a long story short. So a long story short, I go in today. Now, keep in mind, I have no time to get another attorney, right? I tried, but I'm counties over from where this court is. There's all types of things, right? But I did try, immediately try. Anyway, I go in here with the motions filed. So I file a motion to continuance with the email correspondence with the lawyer, date and time, right? I also file for a few separate things in case this does get denied. Then I could call witnesses. So I'm in there. Let me stop right there and hit some comments. I don't want to ignore the comments, but I want to explain what happened today. Yes, I'm all over it, man. I'm all over it. Yeah, guys, we'll get into this. We'll get into a little bit more about this on the, I could use your help on this. Now the court date, June, what is this? We'll get to the appeal. No, I tried to give the guy money multiple times. When I tell you guys, Noel, hey babe, are you in chat? It's fine if you're in chat. How many hours, just give or take, will you say you yourself spoke with Mr. Rick?
Oh my God, I don't know, maybe like 6. I don't know.
Noel's gonna say
times over a course of days. I couldn't tell
6 hours. I gotta say I got
More
about
than that,
8
probably.
hours in talking to him, explaining everything, going through all the exhibits, all this. People, this all happened, right? He is taking in the information. He's asking for links and this and that. I'm sending this dude everything, right? I'm telling him what witnesses to call, contacts. I'm contacting witnesses. Not a penny was given to him. He told me to pay him Tuesday, right? To pay him Tuesday. And matter of fact, Monday night, So matter of fact, Monday I spoke to Mr. Rick the entire ride that I'm going to work. Whole ride, I speak to him, and I'm pulling into work, and he's like, "I need this, this, and that." I'm like, "My wife has it, no problem. You've already spoken to her," and he talks about payment on Tuesday. I'm like, "Mr. Rick, we want to pay you now, right?" Noel, so this conversation goes to Noel. I go to work. Noel's sending him what he needs. Noel's trying to pay the guy. Trying to talk, babe, explain it.
I said, hey, I want to pay you. And I said, how can we do this? And he said, I'll take your credit card information over the phone. He's like, but I want to ask you a couple questions before we get into that, before I forget. And we started going through all the questions. I started writing down the stuff that he wanted me to send him. I asked him again if I could pay him, so I didn't forget. And he's like, yeah, one minute. And he kept asking questions, and so I kept telling him. And then the third time I asked him if I could, I was ready to pay him if he was ready, because he was looking at something, and he didn't respond. Then he just went into talking about something else. And then he starts explaining a whole bunch of stuff to me about other situations and different whatever scenarios and whatnot. And then he's like, oh my God, he's like, I have to take this call. It's a very important call. I will call you back and take payment. He's like, I'm going to file a motion to continue because there's a lot of stuff I have to go over to prepare and be ready, blah, blah, blah. He's like, but I will call you back as soon as I'm done with this call so that we can do payment and move forward.
So again, I'm gonna put this on Twitter at the end, so you guys can see the whole email. Take a look at, focus on the very top of the of this correspondence, date and time, and I'll explain it more in detail at the end. But so all this happens, all right? Okay, so this happens. Sometimes you got to deal with shit. It is what it is. It's just what happens, right? So I filed the appropriate motions. I asked for a continuance, and I also file for motions in case the continuance does not go through. Okay, that's where we're at right now. Really quick, really fast. Thank you for becoming a new member. We got Brian's Rambling, shout out. In Florida, a lawyer cannot simply abandon a client. This is interesting. I want to hear all the comments here after I tell you the story. I want to hear them all. But keep in mind, I never paid them though. So keep in mind that. Thank you, Renee Marie. I got Mary Poppins become a member, and so did Cheryl. Okay, so I go in there. This happens Monday night. I'm on the phone with the place that referred me to him, which I'll get into detail in a little bit. I'm frantically trying to file these motions. Okay, so I do file a motion to continuance. Again, I'm calling all day. Hey, I'm calling judge's chambers. I'm calling clerk. There's no, nothing is done on the motion to continuance. Not a yes approved, not a no denied. It's just nothing. Never heard of this, right? Not a problem. Not a problem. Don't want to miss court because I'll automatically lose, right? So so here comes Thursday, and I head there to address my motion to continuance, right? Now I filed motion to, so also what was filed was motion for witnesses to appear by Zoom. Okay, get there in a minute. I'm in court, and get called, and I'm told that I had already got a motion to continuance. I'm like, yes, Your Honor, I was served this thing late in the afternoon. The following day, I had court. The following day, I had less than 24 hours. So yes, I asked the court for a motion to continue. I then was speaking with a lawyer. I acquired a lawyer. I was actually referred a lawyer, and I was in communication with them for 2 weeks, hours upon hours of conversation with this guy, and at the last minute he bails, and I enclosed the email from him. Right, not trying to hear it. Off the top, she's not only not trying to hear it, but then she, this is the weirdest thing in the world. Not trying to hear it, tells me I've never heard about this in my life. And there's going to be everything I talk about today. That I already know there's going to be YouTubers that are going to do FOIA requests. So I cannot wait to get vindicated. But as she's addressing the continuance, tells me in open court, these type of things you don't need a lawyer for, and you don't it's not your right to have a lawyer. I'm like, what was just said? But I'm keeping my cool. And then goes in and says, I'm going to deny the motion for witnesses to appear by Zoom. Okay. Could I have had Nerdy Addict in court? Yes. Yeah, but my intention was the lawyer contact him and all this and multiple other people that I wanted to use, but it's all denied, right? So by doing that, it kind of chops off a lot of my rebuttal to what things would be said, right? Any witnesses or whatever else, anything to do and linked to anybody else beyond me is kind of like not admissible, if that makes sense, right? So I do not like the way that court just went in the opening 15, 20 minutes. I'm thinking to myself, this is going one way and one way only. This is not looking good. I just got told it's not my right to have a lawyer. Everything just got denied, right? So I'm keeping my composure, but I'm a little bit aggravated. I'm way aggravated because of what this lawyer did. But now I'm just simply trying to get a continuance to hire another attorney, right? It's not my fault. The guy bailed on me on the fourth quarter, right? No problem. So I'm sitting there and I have a little bit of a game plan put together. And boy, oh boy, did that little bit of a game plan almost work. So I'm sitting there and I'm listening. At first, I'm like, so my initial thought was, this lady has got her mind made already. There's nothing I can say, Noel. And I was contemplating walking out of court. But I'm like, Matt, take a chill pill, and just wing it. Just wing it. Just wing it and speak your truth. So I chilled out. And then, go through the whole roll call and all this type of stuff. But I'm listening to like her decisions and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. Right. So I get called up there and look, people, I mean, there was so much social media nonsense involved in this that I can't even really go into detail, right? There was such a big opening thing made, right? So I'm writing the points down as I'm hearing things, but the counsel is telling me that there's never been an arrest for domestic violence. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, there has. So I'm writing things down, and then I'm getting told that just all types of weird things. My thumbnails, just all types of weird things, with things to do with like smelling panties and this and that. So I'm writing everything down, and at one point I'm like, can I interject and give a little bit rebuttal on these claims? And they're like, wait a minute, let the lawyer finish, and then you do your thing. So I write everything down. It comes to my here comes me, and I'm actually doing good. I actually did so good that, what's it called when the judge says overruled or whatever? Not overruled, but so the lawyer was trying to interject on my claims, and the judge sided with me because it was very simple. I was, submitting, arrest. I was submitting, FOIA stuff. I was just debunking all this stuff, guys. There was a lot said, right? But I was doing pretty good. And during this, I'm debunking a lot of, like, there's so much social media aspect, which is basically the judge actually sided with me. What you say on, so it's free speech, right? You can't get mad about videos that are made, but my argument was, I'm not making videos and smearing anybody. It's my opinion off behavior that I'm saying, and there was a lot of things said. So I said, can I use my phone for a moment? I can show you sniffing panties. I can show you Hitler, right? And I was able to do that. It was quite a moment. It was quite a moment. And things kept going. Things kept going. At one point in the proceeding, it got to the protest, which was very interesting. People were explaining things, lawyers were saying things, and then people were crying. People were crying. People were crying. So I'm like, there was one point where I'm like, is this real? Is this real? And I was looking at, like, crying. I looked up at the judge. She caught my eyes, and the look on her face said $1 million. So at this point, I'm like, I think I'm in good shape. And then it was my turn to debunk the protest thing, which became complicated. Because, look, for what it's worth, I lost this hearing. There's a 2-year protection order. I can't do a lot of things that I don't do already. We'll go over it. But I cannot bring Nerdy Attic in at this point. I can't use them. I can't even say anything. I did say that the person that was with me in the protest, I did explain the airport scenario. All I can say is whoever FOIAs this is going to hit gold. And but it's complicated for me to debunk things without truth, right? When you take away the ability for me to talk about a witness or someone that was with me, or maybe something that happened to that somebody based on the events, then you're leaving me, one-on-one, which is fine. I still did good. Again, the judge actually overruled, or however you say the legal word, to the lawyer, interrupting me a few times. The judge sided with me about free speech. The problem is people are crying, and there was talk about going to the residence. This is what really got under my skin. When talks about going to the residence was brought up, what was said from the attorney was that the day that the protest happened, there was a police report made. Now, time out. If you're watching this on the internet, if you've paid attention to this on the internet, Well, you know that that's not factual. You know that Plunder did a FOIA request and there was no police report made. I know this too. So when this is said, my rebuttal was, where is this said police report? Is there damage? Can I see claims of damage? Is there a police report? Can I see said things? The lawyer said, what had happened was, I forgot that. What had happened was, I don't have that. Okay, so where's the proof? The YouTuber that FOIAs this is going to hit the lotto. This really happened. And I'm asking for proof of a police report. Now, I know from Plunder's FOIA request that there is no police report made, but it wrote, and it was part of a final decision. Now, also, in the beginning of this arguments, there's things as though, like, there's things saying that I'm doing doctored photos with made up, this and that. And people got caught dead in lies, like dead in lies. People were saying, like, there's no domestic violence arrest, and I'm submitting to the court arrest records. Matter of fact, the judge used the clerk to look it up, this and that. But I guess I said it wrong. Wasn't arrested, it was filed, but they saw the court date, the judge saw what I was saying, whatever. But then, there was the lawyers claiming that I'm, doing all these smears and making AI videos. I'm making AI videos of people smelling panties. No. I'm having an opinion about behavior that I watch. So with the phone out, that got passed around. We had that happened in court. And then crying happened, and it was going back and forth. It's going back and forth. Okay. There was so much to do with social media, so much to do with opinion, so much to do with thumbnails and this, which I did a excellent job debunking. So the final decision was made, and it was made solely because of me going to the house, right? In open court, people have free speech. They're allowed to make videos. If you don't like them, you don't agree with them, this and that. But there was a combination of going to the house and posting there was an accusation that I doxed said individual, which was a Twitter post where I retweeted somebody who had snagged a picture of I don't remember what bozo it was out there in Arizona, one of the bozos, and they had a number on the phone, and it was on my ex. A combination of that and going right now, it's interesting because the final decision was like there was so much to do with social media posts, and a lot I'm not explaining. I'm not wasting time because it was really redundant and it was really just a bunch of nothing. But I spent a lot of time debunking these claims, right? And the final decision was their free speech is free speech, but going there, right? Now, this is where it got really, 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 really interesting. The very end. Now, the very end, I'm listening to her. I see where she's going with this. I didn't think I would do that good, but I had already known starting this, like, I think she made her mind up. Remember what I was saying? When you go into these things by yourself, they side with a lawyer. I know this, right? And I didn't want to do this by myself by any means. Okay. But at the end, I'm listening to it, and I gotta, in my opinion, I gotta win, because she makes her decision. 2 years. It's like okay, whatever. I don't go to Pasco. I don't contact. The whole thing, which I'll explain in a minute, I already don't do, right? But the end of it was very, very interesting. Okay, this is part I don't know really how much I can get into, right? For separate different reasons. So at the end of it, she's making a decision, and then, like, they bring me something to sign, and I don't sign it, and then, like, they, in these proceedings, like, they have to walk the one party out, make sure they're out of the building before you leave, whatever. So I'm like, I didn't sign it, but I'm not out of the chair yet. The next case is not called yet. Me and the judge are talking. And she's like, you may be upset with my decision. And I'm like, Your Honor, you based your decision off certain situations that have already been proven.
Bullshit.
And she, so the case is done, but we're still talking, right? And I still hadn't signed nothing yet. And anyway, I finally tell this woman that, you didn't give me even a chance to produce to you. There's FOIA request, and I did at the end. There's FOIA request done on police calls. There was never a police call on the day that I was out. So I finally send that. I get nothing. I get a blank face. I get a awkward silence. And then I sign this thing for 2 years. But this is where it gets all interesting, because what my final judgment is a little bit different. And I'm happy about it, because at the end of the day, nothing changes. Nothing changes. I can talk about what I want to talk about. Nobody can stop that. But it's all weird to me. The whole thing, y'all. The lawyer, like, how does that happen? How does the judge tell me I don't have a right to an attorney? The decision, it's like I'm specifically in open court asking for proof. I should be able. I need to be able to view this. The burden of proof is not on me. And the burden of proof, what was said at the end was, so I got a 2-year protection order, okay? Because there's a claim that now, I'm not even mad at this, because the internet's forever. The internet keeps score. I know you guys know the truth. I know you guys do. However, there was a claim that I knocked on the door, kicked the door. In court, there was no police report. There was no pictures of damage done to said door. There was no video camera showing me at said. There was nothing at me on said property beyond the picture that was posted on X that we uploaded on the sidewalk. That is it. So to drill that down one more time, there was a claim that I did something. Nothing was proven in court. And I already know YouTubers are going to be all over this for you. So the internet's forever. I don't even know how I feel about it. How do I feel about it? Well, I'm aggravated like hell for that lawyer. But like at the end of the day, there's 2 years of me. I don't contact people that he knows or try to get a hold of him, or I don't there's no guns. It's 2 years.
Change or affect your life in any
And
way.
the whole thing doesn't change. I don't when it comes to social media, I don't try to message him on Facebook, or I don't. So the whole thing is like it's 2 years of like all what I already wasn't gonna do. And at the end of the day, what's crazy about this is I don't. Yeah, I'm just covering justice for Magnolia right now, right? I don't know what's going to happen in 5 months from now, but what I do know is I'm still not going to be talking about this, right? I cover what I feel like covering on this channel, right? So it's wild that this is an attempt on my speech that is just crazy. I don't hang around with this person. I don't want to associate with this person. You know what I mean? But it's 2 years, right? And let's talk about this more, right? So 2 years. I was thinking about this on the ride home today. Since like the Magnolia stuff happened, it was really easy for me to make videos and stuff about behavior and whatnot, because I've talked about it in the past, right? The stuff with Magnolia happened, right? So it was easy for me to repeat some of the things I've reported on in the past because I know it by memory. I've talked about it. So that was easy, right? I don't remember the last time I've talked about said individual. I don't. Like there's do you understand what I'm saying? Like I'll talk about things as they go, right? At some point, hopefully Magnolia gets justice in all this, right? At some point. And when that day hopefully comes, you know, I'm not going to be reporting on like, cheese ball, like storm chasers. Like that doesn't even get, there's nothing to, it's for what? Right? It's not that I don't understand the logic, right? I'll cover and speak about the next thing that I do, right? I don't remember. And when all this happened, I was like, making videos about, like the so many of the things I've talked about, like these are old video. It's been years, right? It's now I might have blew the horn about, hey man, I've been saying this for years over here just because the Magnolia situation happened. But it's like it's just all weird to me. And I don't go over there, right? There was, I don't know, man. I feel like I did damn good. I know that I did. I never expected to have a judge side with me and get overruled on a lawyer a few times. But the social media stuff I was hip on. I just don't understand, to be honest, A, how the lawyer backed out on me in the last minute. B, how in open court I was told that having a lawyer is not my right in these situations. And then C, the final, I'm not saying that I disagree with this judge's decision. I would if her decision is that's fine with me, right? But what I'm saying is I'm asking, like, where is the receipts on what you're making this claim on, right? And believe you me, I literally asked, where's this report? I literally asked, and I could not get an answer. Another thing I did not like, they gave the lawyer all this time to make all these claims. right? That wasn't my rebuttal. I had already prepared, but there's a lot of lies that, I'm writing down what I want to counter, and I have to address these things, right? There was no time frame when said lawyer was talking, but when it's my turn, right? And I had points for everything. Why do I get through half these claims and then I'm told there's a lot of cases and we gotta move on? Wait a minute though. Wait a minute. That wasn't said for her, but I understand. That's fine. I get it, right? I'm not a lawyer to begin with, but it's crazy though. It's crazy. I just remember what her face looked like at the very end, because she did not give me a chance to submit that FOIA proving that 911 call, and it was dead silence. And then all I can tell y'all, I won't include what happened at the very end, is I got a little bit of a victory, I guess. I'll leave it at that. But it's but I did not win, and that's not going to make sense to anybody. But I'll address it sometime. But I did. No piece of size truly has. Yeah, I mean, it was wild, y'all. Yeah, the crying was wild. The crying was wild. I don't know really what to do with that. There was a point of me today where I had to ask myself, what reality is this? What reality is this? In the courtroom, I asked myself, what reality am I in? I'm there, I'm present, I'm participating, and I'm listening to crying, which is fine. But where's the receipts on the crying? Okay. Not only that, I'm just thinking about this whole situation. I'm in court right now because another man, put a protection order on me. I had to kind of talk to myself and be like, Matt, this is going to be good. It's going to be, I know the lawyer shit on you, but let's get through this. But I was talking to myself. I'm like, but at one point though, it was weird. Almost like I'm in court right now because another male, there put a restraining order. There's crying. It's just for what? What is this? And then I just was the internet knows what happened, right? The internet knows what I'm dealing with. It was just very weird for me, at that point in time. But man, this lawyer pissed me off. This lawyer pissed me off, y'all. Yeah, I did call that. And I'm so mad about that. I'm beyond mad about that. Guys, this guy, and let me tell you guys the full story with this as well. So I have Legal Shield. I've had it for a long time. I've never used it, right? I've had it for so long that when you have it, your hours you accumulate more hours or this or that or whatever. Legal Shield sucks, right? So I just had a big long conversation with them on the ride home. I called them. I was served this. The next day I was told to go to court. So I'm on the way home from that court date. I called them. I'm like, hey, I got served this. I need to know dollar for dollar. Can you guys, A, represent me? B, what is it going to cost me? So I'm told on 4/9/2026 that I've been a member for so long. I got these hours and this and that, and I have all these trial hours, and I can get a referral, and I can have this covered out of pocket. That is what I'm told. I'm ecstatic, right? Got a lawyer for this thing, right? So it takes them 2.5 weeks from 4/9/26. It takes them 2.5 weeks to get me a referral. That is who Glance Law is. Let's go back to the receipts. Now, as you view this, take a look at that date and time. As you view this is a email from the lawyer to me. And give me a second. There it is right there. So he says, I will be not representing you in this case. I have called Glance Law and informed them. That's because I am a member, right? And the way that it works is this. Glance Law was going to pay him X amount of hours that I had accumulated, right? I believe they're going to pay him for 4 trial hours. So 4 hours on the job was prepaid. So it takes him 2.5 weeks to give me him. They finally give me him. I start talking to him, right? He tells me then, oh yeah, Glance is going to give me 4 hours, this and that, blah, 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 but I have a flat fee. I'm like, whoa, what? So this is the first time I know I got to come out of pocket, right? So I'm like, fuck, man. So he's like, oh yeah. Then he goes, I'll probably do it for, because they're giving me this much. I'll probably do it for $500-$600, right? I'm on the phone with them. I'm going to work. This is a separate day than what I already talked about. So then Noel takes the conversation over. He tells her later that night, oh, I'll do it for $1,000. I guess that's reasonable, right? That's reasonable, but not really, because they already gave him $1,200-$1,500, right? So he's whatever, right? So this is the craziest shit in the world. I never seen nothing like this. Somebody was in the comments earlier said I listen. Go to that dude's Google page. Yeah, there's unhappy reviews from old white boy. But yeah, it was crazy, man. Basically, the lawyer bails on me. I got to go in there to just ask for continuance. I don't know why she wouldn't grant me a continuance with the email and all that, explaining it, showing all that. And I don't know why. But whatever, it's her court, gotta respect it. But then she denies everything else, right? So just to break this down, if the continuance is going to get denied, no problem. But at least approve me to have witnesses be able to speak on my behalf. But she shot that down too. Right? And that's why I say when you go one of these things with no lawyer, you are at a disadvantage, But what I could tell you is this. So what's going to happen next? Well, look, this judgment, whatever, is just stuff I don't ever do, right? Stuff I don't ever do anyhow. It's 2 years. It's like I don't like YouTubers using the court and stuff, right? I think it's wrong. I don't have to sit out. I don't have to plead with you guys. I don't have to explain anything to you guys. You guys have seen all this with yourself. You've seen this for yourself. And not only that, I'm smart enough to know, I already know YouTubers are going to be trying to FOIA this in 0.2 seconds. I know it. I don't care. I know everything that I'm saying will be vindicated. And eventually you're going to see and hear it for yourself, right? All that, it doesn't matter, right? So I don't like, this was just a, in my opinion, this whole thing was done to try to silence me. We all know that, right? And it was desperately done through the whole process, and nothing changes. Nothing changes. It's just crazy. So what can happen? Can I appeal it? Can I appeal it? Sure. But this is 2 years. It's going to take me at least 6 months to even be able to appeal it, I think, right? And look, like I just said, I don't even know if I probably will, just for the sake of how so many people saw how this went down. But I mean, in all honesty, like 6 months from now, I'm not going to be talking about no mannequins. It's just how this goes. You keep it moving. I don't. It's wild to me, man. It's wild. The lack of burden of proof. The lack of. Crazy, y'all. What does it say? If lawyer lied, I don't know what you mean on that one. No, Don mother freaking X. No. Yes, he didn't produce the so-called police. No. Ask for it in open court. I did that because I already knew the answer. And what's wild is there was a time where there was a lot going on, and I was explaining things, and lawyers talking, I'm talking, but I tried to submit Plunder's FOIA request. I don't know if it wasn't heard or not, but I tried to during the hearing to prove, like, wait a minute, I'm already in here. People got caught in their own lies, which was wild too. People got caught in their own lies. People were saying, there's never been domestic violence stuff going on. People were saying, people were saying that this wasn't their own videos, and show them, produce the things, So I'm thinking, like, as it's going, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how did they just expose themselves like multiple times? And I'm thinking in my head, like, judge's got to be seeing this, got to be keeping score with the lies here. Like I said, at the end of the day, she made her decision because I went there, and she tried to tie some posts with it, in my opinion. So the statute in Florida is you gotta have two. It didn't even apply to the case, to be honest with you. But I believe the way that this is just my opinion, I believe the way that she did her final call on this was the house, and then she tried to use one of these other things, which I also, and with that, I debunked that as well. But it's wild. But that's what I say. At the end, I had to sit there and wait, and that's when I did say, "Hey, man, because I wouldn't sign anything." And look, at some point, I'm giving it all I got. I'm actually nailing it a little bit. The lawyer had their moments too, don't get me wrong. But, I felt like, I was presenting good enough stuff for all, considering all things. But at the end, I was like, I'm not going to sign this. And I was just being a little bit hard-headed. I was a little bit aggravated. But I said, at the end, and this is why I think I had a little bit of a win. I said at the end, I'm not signing that. And then she was like, yeah, you got to sign it or you got to sit over there. I said, Your Honor, you told me that I don't have a legal right to counsel. I provided you the email correspondence where this lawyer bailed on me. So I then did this hearing. I'm like, you based your opinion on what you said, and it was it, and you based your opinion on a lie. And we have a little bit of rebuttal. The decision's already made. I haven't signed nothing yet. But I'm like, she's like, well, you don't have to be happy with my decision, this and that, blah blah blah. And I just said, Your Honor, there was a FOIA request on that, and you've already made your decision. And then I sent it. And it's it's just like, what does that mean? I feel like that moment was worth $1 million, but it's already done and over with. But what does that mean? I can do an appeal. So I have the steps to do it. I'm going to ask for the audio because boy, oh boy. And I don't know. But again, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna appeal it in 6 months, right? I'm going to appeal it. But what I'm getting at, y'all, is like in 6 months, I know I won't be talking about any of this. It's all be over, right? But I'm gonna do it because people donated, right? And I feel obligated. But it's just gonna be like some. I don't know. I guess I can ask for a different judge for sure, and I can appeal it, and I can try to dissolve it and try to get it dropped. But this thing is for 2 years. I don't do any of this. I don't contact anybody. It's just I don't know, yeah. That's how it went down. Angelina, look, all I can say is, man, I already know how YouTube works, and I know there's going to be YouTubers that are going to try to FOIA this, and I know how it goes, and it is what it is.
What are you gonna do?
I don't. If they FOIA it, I could care less.
Have fun.
You're gonna hear.
It's beyond the biggest amount of nonsensical bullshit.
It's weird to me. It's all weird. Like I was saying.
Yeah.
What I was saying in the beginning of this is this. Here's what I'm going to say. This whole thing was, I'm just trying to raise domestic violence awareness.
Can you mod me?
You're not modded? And yeah, of course. And
I'm like, what the fuck happened?
and what I could tell y'all is,
I'm not even. What's going on with me? Sorry, baby. I don't know what the fuck happened.
So an appeal will cost. To file and transcript.
Oh, wait,
So yeah, an appeal will cost money. So I plan on just appealing it. I'm gonna do that. But I like. So I can't. Let's just say I got on the phone right now and got a lawyer to appeal it. I don't believe I may be able to start the process, but from what I understand, it takes about 6 months to even do that, right? So we'll see. If I can get it done in a timely manner, I'm going to be all on it, and I'll do that. I'm going to request a different judge. I've never heard of a lawyer is not your right. That's wild to me, and I've never And if I could appeal it, maybe bring it to a different court. I specifically asked, I specifically asked to see every claim about her decision, and there was nothing. There was nothing. There was nothing. And at one point I was like, the burden of proof is not on me. It's wild. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But it's just what it is, man. I don't know really what else to say. I called this. I said, if you go in there without a lawyer, they are going to side with the lawyer. And I did damn good. I don't know who's going to FOIA it. I'm guessing some YouTubers
it's
will.
The most boring bullshit. If they do, there's nothing to learn.
Well, I mean, you're gonna whenever it does come to the light, which I know how YouTube goes, you're gonna see people crying, crying. People are crying about people are crying about they were petrified and scared. What's that?
Did you tell her what she said about the full disclosure, like I told you?
Yes, I did.
Sorry.
I did say that because I also had, not only did I have to prepare for this proceeding because of this motion getting denied, as I was preparing, I got dropped a whole bunch of new evidence, if you will. And I was like, I never got a copy of this. This is the first time of me seeing it. Was never notified of any of this. It was that's what I excelled in, and I debunked it the best. But the social media stuff, it was just wild claims and it's things out of context and easy for me to show my phone, and but I just don't understand. In the beginning, there's people getting caught in lies. There's people saying that they didn't do this, and then there's paperwork that they did. And at some point in the beginning, I believe, I don't know, maybe crying helped. I can't even say that either. People were literally crying. People crying, Matt, crying. And I just had to ask myself, what's going on right now? Is this even real? And it's, man, dead serious. What's up, Ducks? You've got procedural unfairness. What does it say? Lack of legal sufficient evidence and free speech. Issues for appeal. I wrote it all down. Text me later. Thank you. She absolutely agreed with free speech. Matter of fact, verbatim. People cannot, you may not like YouTube videos that are made, but it's beyond, what does this say? My projects for 1 minute. Oh, you guys I got off track. Good comment here. So what I was saying is, through this whole thing, right? What the key takeaway is, hey, look, man, I just went out there to raise awareness for domestic violence, right? Lawyer tried to literally say that, were you convicted of domestic violence? I can't wait for the YouTuber to get the FOIA. I said, excuse me, where are you getting your information? That is absolutely 100% incorrect. And that's after I, answered about 4 questions like that, completely debunking it, right? And then, matter of fact, I said, can you produce can you show me Can you show me a conviction? Can you show me any? The nerve, right? I don't have no domestic violence convictions. The nerve, and of course, the YouTuber who gets this FOIA has gold. The of course, when I'm asked, what? Can you show me this? I literally said, where are you getting your information from? But you know, the whole point of this, right? I had called this, right? I had called this. You never go into court with you never go into court when the other person has a lawyer. You know, there's people who know the law out there, paralegals and stuff, and maybe they could have done better. And maybe, you know, of course, not every time it goes like that, but in my experience, most time it goes like that, right? That's all I'm saying. There's people who are really good. They don't need a lawyer. Don't get me wrong, right? But the point of this is, you know, this whole thing, I was raising awareness for domestic violence, and it really shines a light on, you know, that situation in a whole, in my opinion, right? You know, you get to see a little bit of what Magnolia, you know, had to go through. Do you really think this is what's crazy to me? Like, this one, I don't even know how to feel. Am I mad that I didn't win? Am I upset that I didn't win? Yes. Am I pissed that the lawyer bailed on me fourth quarter? Absolutely. Am I upset about it? Yeah. But dude, the internet saw this, right? The internet saw this. Like, there's people over there. There's people over there who have there's people over there that even see it. They're in the bushes right now and they know, right? And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And
I got thrown out for no fucking reason.
People, I've been told that by many different people behind the scenes leading up to this, that I was getting too close to something. You know, people were really worried about what I'm saying over here. And that is so interesting. It's so interesting. Because there are some wild claims going around. Wild. There's wild speculation. There's wild chatter of certain, you know, stuff on a phone. There is a lot of stuff happening. You know, there's allegations and stuff. There's stuff that, you know, there's a lot of things happening. You know, people may hear in the next couple days, like stuff at a Turning Point USA event. People may hear somewhere on the internet, I don't know, hypothetically, educational purposes, they may hear at a Turning Point USA event, they may hear some stuff with some minor girls. People kept telling me like white boy, this and that. And I didn't really understand or pay too much attention to it. And then I'm learning things that I didn't even know. I see the chatter, I see the speculation, but I don't pay attention to that. But then there's receipts on weirdo stuff. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I get it now. Now I get what they were saying. Which is even more weird to me, which makes this thing even more weird, because I'm raising awareness for domestic violence. I'm having to answer and deal with a whole bunch of these fangirls and stuff, blind loyalty defending. And then on top of that, to learn about the weirdo stuff. It's like, wait a minute. How weird is this going to get? But not for me. Even like, but not for me. That I'm talking about the fangirls. They don't even have an idea what they were just defending. It's all very strange. Like, it's all very strange to me. Like, you know, so I lost, but I didn't beat up Magnolia. I lost, but I've never had weirdo allegations on my name. So I don't know, you know, like what do I do? That, like I was telling y'all before, like it's a weird reality. Like what is happening? Why is there crying happening right now? Why is he crying? Why is he crying? It's super weird, y'all. It's super weird. It's getting really weird.
It was. I can't.
Was it plunder? Was it plunder you're talking about? I don't think y'all know what I'm talking about. A few of you do. A few of you do. It wasn't fair. Listen, man. Appeal is how much money. Somebody just texted me. It'll cost.
I saw it. I got it too. It's expensive.
400 to 1500. I'm gonna look into it. I reamed Glance Law out. They know fully about what happened. Look, I called them on Tuesday morning and I was like, y'all referred me a lawyer. The beauty of those emails that I was showing, the beauty of all this is if you see it. Well, I didn't enclose the very bottom, right? But maybe I will. Babe, do you see this? Do you see this right here on screen? Yeah. Actually, no. I have it right here, I believe. Let me see. Hold on a minute. I've called Glance Law and informed them. Hold on. I'm declining representation. You must contact them as soon as possible to be assigned. So the beauty of this is he sent me and that firm the same email, right? So when I called them, they already know. They were already frantically trying to refer me to somebody because they knew this was time sensitive. They knew this had like a certain date, right? So they were like frantically trying to align, get with me somebody. I called the next day and, listen, at the end of the day, I think that I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that they've royally fucked this up, meaning both firms, right? At the very least, they owe me representation on an appeal. And I called Tuesday and I spoke to some attorney there and he was like, I know, I got the email. We're sorry. I'm like, why did he bail the case? He's like, he didn't tell us. I'm like, well, why didn't he look over the case, over the facts, over the information, and then say yes or no? Why ask me for all this information? Why have me on the phone for all these hours? Why talk to my wife for all these hours? No answer. But so at the very least, I think I can get them to represent me on an appeal for probably nothing. Is my point. I mean, for fuck's sake, they owe me that. I've never heard of hey, guess what? Not represent you. So Noel said when she went to go pay him, he said he got a phone call from somebody. So I'm like really like running this back through my head, like what happened, right? The same day I talked to him for hours. I wonder if he got like a big case or I don't know what it was, but why would you just bail? And y'all have to understand the conversations that was happening. He was like, I'm gonna put a continuance on because I want to go through all these claims. Send me this, send me that.
Get another case. I firmly believe that he wanted more money than he was asking for, because he was bitching about how long he thought it was going to take, and it was going to be multiple days or an entire day, maybe 2. And most lawyers would charge no less than 10 grand to take this case. Like, he started going on like a little mini rant about that.
But why didn't he ask for it?
I don't know. Because he already told us what he wanted.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pay him.
Yeah, 502. You trust me, man. It's weird, dude. It's weird. I have a suspicion that, but I don't want to put it in writing.
We were told that just because he said he would take it, he has the right to get all the facts and information so he can figure it out and then decide. He does not have a responsibility or an obligation to represent us.
What's up, Excited Adverts? What's happening?
He also had, like, should have really fucking said something and not let us on for, a week and then dropped us right before. It's just bullshit. It's just not okay.
So Crimes, I'm gonna
It's bad etiquette all the way around.
This is what really pissed me off with that guy, Crimes. And I know you've been subscribed to the channel a long time. So I'm gonna tell you what was weird for me with this guy, right? The weirdest thing that he told me as I was talking to him. And it really pissed me off. And I actually straightened him when he said it. Why can't I see this? Hold on. Why can't I see this real fast? What's going on here? What is this? Oh, what's weird? So back to you, Crime. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Angelina. I appreciate that. I'm trying to, but rulings like this deter others from speaking up. Victim, this is so wrong on so many levels. I mean, it's wild, man.
What? Her fucking husband took her to court?
Who's this? Who did?
Lisa Loeb.
Chai says, I don't consider it a loss. No one wants to be within 1,000 feet in the first place, except the pancakes queen. No shit. I'm going to read this in a minute, but back to Crimes. Here's what was weird for me, Crimes. So I'm talking to, so let me bring you back here, right? You guys put yourself in my shoes, right? I'm explaining to a lawyer, in-depth, YouTube drama shit, right? Which can be an obstacle in itself, right? But in doing so, explaining to this dude, and he's like, look, listen in, and I could tell like I'm telling him stuff, right? The lawyer that bailed, I could tell like I'm telling him stuff, but he's not taking it in.
He was trying,
right?
so it was like he really wasn't understanding shit. Finally,
I told him something, right? Right? And I had already told him this like 3-4 times, but it wasn't registering with him. And I'm like, why isn't this like a red alert for this guy? So I'm thinking this in my head, right? So I told him this for the 3rd or 4th time, right? So finally I tell him again. And I'm like, dude, Google it. Is your phone right there? Google it. So he Googles, dude. And that's when he got like quiet. He's like, I'm like talking to him still. It's not like a FaceTime or nothing. So I'm talking to him still. And he's like getting quiet. He's like, oh, he's like, I could see all, he Googled, right? And he was like, listen, man, I'm going to give you some legal advice off the books, this and that. He's like, this type of person is yeah, you know, I've been doing law for 30 years, and every now and then I see people like this and this and that, and I'm like, so you see what's going on here? He's like, yeah, I get it. He's like, but these type of people, he's like, they're very dangerous. I'm like, that doesn't, yeah, I'm like, that's exactly why I was out there protesting. And when he said that, I'm like, that's why I'm out here protesting. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing that. And I don't know, just the way he said that was weird, right? I mean, I don't know, whatever. People got their opinions, whatever. And it's not that I disagree with them, right? At all. But you know, I want to talk to somebody who's confident and stuff like that, right? And it was just weird. And you know, I'm thinking back and trying to explain this. That was like 3 days before.
He told me, he's like, when we win this case, my concern is.
Where's this at? I hit the mute on accident. My bad. So yeah, it's crazy. Let me get back to these comments real fast. It's too weird. Something up with the lawyer. Yeah, but I mean, I'm with you, but I don't know. His name is right here. So who I was talking to and all that is, I believe it's on this one. Rick Castro out of Tampa. Never use, y'all. Never use. But for my sleuths out there, and then, yeah, it was just weird. I'm probably overthinking it now, but and then afterwards, so after Monday night, matter of fact, it was yesterday, Wednesday, the dude calls me on accident. So I don't know. I don't get the phone call or whatever, but I see missed call. So I call back. I don't know if he called or what. So I call back, and he's like, "Oh, I called you on accident." I'm like, "What the fuck's going on? What's going on here?" Like I was starting to bug out, and especially at that time too, because I had been checking the clerk all day for some response on this motion to continuance. It's all weird, man. All weird. Dig away, mama, dig away, and let me know. Let me know. That shit, attorney. Priv is not established till payment. That is why they kept emailing my boy. That's it. Privilege. So what do you mean by that? I'm trying to pick up what you're putting down. I'm with you, but I just don't get what you're saying. I cannot understand.
Client attorney privilege is not established until he's officially retained with Painter. When he called and when we started in contact, he agreed verbally to take the case, wanted all the information sent over, said that he was going to be out of office. Or we talked for 3 days. Then he's like, "I'm going to be out of office early Friday and through the weekend, but Monday pay me. When we talk, just pay me and keep sending me all this stuff." So that's kind of how it went. He knew, like, let me get all the information and get me, you get paid on this day. Okay, pay me on, Monday. So, Monday. So that's what we tried doing. And it wasn't until later on that he decided he wasn't going to take the case. But he kept taking all the information. If he wasn't going to accept the case because he didn't want it, or because he wasn't getting paid enough, or whatever the reason was, he shouldn't have kept in contact the whole time he talked to us and kept getting all the information And he should never have said, send it over. He should have had a complete, like, you know, consult to find out what was going on.
Yeah, stuck ducking
paperwork and then said, no, I'm not going to take it. He shouldn't have went all through all that until Monday to get the paperwork or to get paid, knowing we had
ducking fell in these comments. So that's interesting that you said that, because because we got a theory about that. I don't know. Something weird happened, man. Like I've never in my life talked to a lawyers don't work for free. They don't waste their time. Well, when I tell you, I talked to hours. This guy, I talked on the phone with him for hours. I sent him
when that would be at work,
plenty of stuff. And then you guys, I work weird hours. I have off today, but I work awkward hours, y'all. So just because I go to work doesn't mean the communication ends, right? I'm talking to this guy, starting to lose my voice. The entire time I'm talking to him, I got him on speakerphone so Noelle can hear everything that's going on. I don't leave my wife in the blind. I want her to be up on game. I want her to know what's going on. So Noelle is hip to everything, right? And that's beyond our personal conversations between me and Noelle. But the point is, I spoke to him hours and sent him all types of stuff. And then, it's just weird. Like it's super weird. And I think there might be a connection.
He invested way too much.
I think there might be a connection on something. And I think that something might be connected. And if I could, I'm telling you, because you had to holler at me off here, man. Off here. Listen, I'm right there with you. Well, yeah, I would definitely consider it filing a complaint. Okay, let me ask Duckin, since you're in here. So I went on his Google reviews. Y'all can go to his website and see it for yourself, what I wrote. Let me ask you this, or anybody who knows the law. Can I file on the Florida bar on him? Keep in mind, he never took payment from me, right?
No, but he spoke as, when we do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to file this. He spoke as though he was doing it. He agreed to take the case.
So
never spoke it as if it was a possibility.
Yes, and also I pay a service for a community of lawyers. I'm supposed to be protected in this service, right? I'm like the top branch member or whatever. I can get all my like basic legal needs done, wills and notary and all that crap. But if I have a situation for court, I'm covered as well. So even though it's just weird, man, it's just weird. So I got a discount through this firm. They referred me to him. I got a discount, right? But when they had to forward him all the, so let me say it like this. I had to give the firm all my information because they had to be like, hey, lawyer Bob, do you cover this? Do you handle this? Okay, I got this. Here's the case. Here's the information. Here's the case number. So I had already submitted it to them.
And he had, he knew exactly what it was before we were even in contact with him. So he can't say like, oh, I didn't know what I was getting into, because he already had the case filing that Matt was served.
Plunder is ordering the audio. Oh boy, I can't. I'm vindicated. Hell, the crying was weird, y'all. Yes, you can make a complaint, White Radio. Anyone can. They will evaluate your complaint on merit, regardless of whether you are a client. But that's that investigations. I'm going to do it anyhow all day because I have.
It's not right. He should have just been forthcoming from the beginning. That was just terrible etiquette on his part. Because of him and his bullshit, we were unable to even move forward with another lawyer. Had he said something from the beginning, I think this is too much for me to handle this amount, blah, 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 or I want like an excessive amount of money, we would have agreed to just, find another lawyer and we would have been okay.
So what if I got referred this lawyer, and just for conversation's sake, what if I got referred this lawyer, right? And the opposing lawyer was a part of the same network. What if that? Because why? What does professional services mean? Like what? Look at this email. Look what the heading says. This was Noel's like, okay, so how can I send you the money, right? And look, read it. I'm gonna put it on there again. Where's it at? There it goes. Okay, let me get the comment. Let me get the comment out here. Come on, this damn computer. Matt, you get what you get.
Ducking.
Susie, I was absolutely thinking about that. I was thinking about a lot of stuff. Nothing makes sense. But scratch the lawyer. I mean, that's the worst part. But dude, how are you gonna deny all the motions? How are you gonna deny if that comment was true? If Plunder gets the audio, how are you gonna tell me I don't have a right to a lawyer? So look at how this is worded, y'all. I've considered your case very carefully and for professional reasons.
This was the most unprofessional.
I will not be representing you in this case. I've called the Glantz Law Firm and informed them that I am declining representation. You must contact them as soon as possible to be assigned to another attorney. Please, where am I at? Please. Okay, now watch this. I think I repeated the same. So now watch this. Let me go back.
He could have at least said, listen, I'm not going to take the case, but if you throw me like $200, I'll file a motion to continue for you so you have X amount of time to find a suitable, legal representative that will take my spot, replace me. Considering the fact that I waited till, the end of the fucking day and you have, 3 days left before the court hearing.
So let me just.
I mean, he could have done that.
What's the date and time on that, babe? Do you have the email right there?
Monday.
I know it's on there, but it's just so I know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, it's crazy.
He sent the email, right?
Yeah, that's on the screen. Yeah, it's just wild though. But look, man, beyond this jackass,
It says May 11th, and
yeah, Monday night at what time?
It says 4:44, but I didn't see it till after 6.
It doesn't matter. Nothing's open at that time anyhow. But he sent it at that time on purpose, on reason. Listen, it doesn't even matter. Without, well, it does matter. That makes the meat and potatoes. But even without the dude, man, look, I held my weight, but I just didn't understand how, I didn't understand when certain things were brought up. If people are making claims and allegations or whatever on me, I'm going to take the time to debunk them or, give my best argument or whatever, right? I did not, I really hope that Plunder does get it. It would only, I don't care about Vindicated because I'm not out here doing all these lies. it's not a situation where people don't already know the story. But, you know, I don't want people to think that I'm just like trying to say one thing and I did this and I did that. You know, a lot of my OGs already know that if she does get it, every single thing that I'm saying right now, you're going to hear it with your own ears. And I hope that, because all that's going to prove is everything that I've said on this live. But, you know, again, this is exactly what Magnolia's got to go through. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, all this stuff should show you that. You know, all of it. But, you know, it is what it is. 2 years, I don't go over there anyhow. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I didn't want that, but I'd rather come up top. But I mean, at the end of the day, it'll come out. People are going to be like, damn, white boy got done dirty. Y'all are going to hear me. Y'all are going to hear me saying what I said. Y'all are going to hear me requesting things. Y'all are going to hear me asking the questions. You're going to hear claims, and I'm going to ask, you know, where's the proof? You're going to see and hear it all for your own self. But that is the beauty of how I know the internet works. So I'm not worried about it, you know, but it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how this all happened at the last minute. And I don't know how with that email that I put on the screen a million times and been talking about, I don't know how a judge would not grant me a continuance to retain. I was actually told, so she just said that was Monday at 4:30ish, right? I don't see it till I get off of work, but
I didn't tell
nothing
you until we got you home, because I didn't want you to be upset and have your feathers ruffled at work. The last thing I wanted to do is disturb your.
But regardless, so nothing legally is open at 5 p.m. Nothing. No courthouse, no clerk, no lawyer. Nothing's open at 5 p.m. So you did it at Monday at 5 p.m. You give me Tuesday and Wednesday. So as I'm explaining this, and then when the motion gets denied, I'm asked, well, why didn't you get another attorney? I'm like, Your Honor, I have 2 days. 2 days. You know, what attorney is going to be like, yep, I'll take it, and I'll take the case and go defend you within, even if I could have had, this is what makes no sense to me. Even if I could have done what I was asked, the attorney would have done a continuance to get familiar with the case. So it would have been granted anyhow. It just, none of it, it's all weird. All crazy, y'all. I'm gonna make me a mannequin voodoo.
Creative, thank you. That's what I'm saying. Because after they, our home office law firm, after they sent him the paperwork that Matt was served, he agreed to take the case. He didn't have to agree to take it after reading it. In fact, once he found out what the lawsuit was even about, he could have just said no right off the bat. He didn't have to spend it, you know, almost the entire 2-hour car ride to work talking to us. He didn't have to talk to me when I got home like 3 separate times and correspond via email. I don't know how many times. Like Matt said, it wasn't just when he was home. He talked to him also at work, but also when he was unavailable to speak, the lawyer was contacting me. So he absolutely knew what he was getting into from the start. And I don't shut the fuck up, as everybody knows. So I will explain everything to the T. If he asks a question, I will explain it in full detail and send over everything that I have, you know, any kind of corroborating evidence that I have to prove what I'm saying, you know, to be factual. So that lawyer knew everything. The fact that he said he was going to file, you know, the motion to continue for us and all this other stuff. And then he's like, oh, I have to go. This is a really important call. I have to take it, blah, blah, blah. I'll call you back and then you can, you know, I can collect payment when I call you back and we'll go over a few more things. But just send me blah, blah, and blah. And I'll speak with you shortly. Okay, cool. He literally, it was just like, it was just dirty. I really just can't even explain. It's not even the losing, you know, it's like, whatever, you know, smug little fucking twerp, fuck him, right? Like, it's kind of like,
Sent a message to a friend, you know, like who
he was definitely
is a lawyer in Florida area.
But
we'll let you know if you could take the case. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Upsetting the way it went, the way we were.
I appreciate all that.
Along, the way we were led on, the way we were just kind of like, you know, promised that, you know, oh, when we win this and blah blah blah, it's gonna be easy, open, close, you know, in and out. It's much different when you have somebody promising, you know, to work with you, and then all of a sudden everything turns out the way it did. The circumstances didn't have to be the way it was, you know. It's so just been upfront with everything.
Guys, look, I appreciate it, badass. Look, I don't know. I'm just giving everybody an update, right? I'm like in a weird spot right now, right? So my life doesn't change, right? Here's where I'm at, right? I don't need a judge to tell me don't go near weirdos, right? I don't fuck with them normally, right? So none of this like applies to me. I don't love that I lost. I don't love the way the process went. I don't love it all. But what I do know is, here's what I do know. And with all that said, right? With all that said, you know, I know without having a lawyer, white boy did damn good in court. I also know y'all are going to hear it soon. I would bet my life on that some YouTuber out there, I already know that you will, right? So I'm okay with all that. I know that people know the situation. I know people know the individual. I don't love the way the things went down, right? But I owe people an explanation, right? For sure. People donated to help me pay for this schmuck, right? So I owe people that. But at the end of the day, it's like I didn't cry. I lost and I didn't cry. People are crying. People they're trying so hard, they're crying, right? And y'all are going to see that or hear it. Like, I wasn't crying, right? Like it's just, but I knew how this was going to go. I knew, right? The stress for me with this was getting a lawyer. I never wanted to go on here and do what I did today. Never, right? You know why? Because I knew if I prepared, no matter how good, no matter what I said, a lawyer sitting right next to a mannequin, they're gonna take the side, right? So that's just how it goes, right? It pisses me off with the lawyer. Yes, it pisses me off that there's a lot of claims and the internet can see everything, and it sucks that I take the shitty end of the stick. Yes, but I'm at the end of the day, dude. At the end of the day, I don't need a judge to tell me to stay away from weirdos. I don't. No matter what happens, I'm not a dude I'm not somebody beating up women. I'm nobody beating up women. I'm nobody that has weirdo SA stuff floating around. It's going to get exposed soon. And And I'm smart enough to know how the internet works. I know that the fangirls, I call that too. They have been like with the binoculars on and less typing, right? It's just I don't know how to explain it. It sucks. In my spot, in my world, it's just like yeah, it sucks, but there's moments where I got my wins, you know, no that's embedded in my brain. You know, imagine like to my fellas out there, imagine another man doing a restraint, and then imagine like crying. They're like some of this stuff is embedded in my brain, right? You can't even make this shit up, right? So I don't love losing, of course not, but you know what let's talk about that. What really happened? Well, for 2 years, ordered an adjourn. I'm not allowed to possess firearms. Newsflash. I lost that right leg. Like
500 years ago.
A lot of years ago, I lost that right already. So that's another thing that I still won't be doing. But moving along, I'm not allowed to, I'd have to surrender all the firearms that I don't have. I have to for 2 years. So for 2 years, I have to do more. So for 2 years, just so we're clear so far, for 2 years, I have to do more nothing, or I have to do more stuff that I already can't do, or I have to do more stuff that I can't have. Still with me? Okay. So for 2 more years, I'm not allowed to.
For 2 years, you get to do everything that you do now, and that's just it. I mean, it really doesn't change anything at all. My favorite was when he said he didn't know us. He met us randomly at the Gabby Petito place in front of laundry residence. He's like, I'd only really seen or spoken to him. Like
I can't go 500 feet from. I can't go 500 feet. I didn't plan on doing that anyhow. For 10 years, I can't go 500 feet. I can't go to a place of employment. Is that some type of a joke? Is this some type of a joke? Is this some type of a joke?
What?
Is this an inside joke that I can't go to a place of work? Is this some type of a sick joke they put in here? So I can't go to his place of work. Is there even one of those? So more of nothing. So more of nothing. Okay, wait a minute. I can't go to his school. More nothing. I cannot do more of what was not done, more of what has not existed, and more of what will never be existed. Job, school, just so we're having guns, keeping track here. This is, legal paperwork. I cannot deface personal property or a car. Why would I do that? Moving along, almost done.
You're not allowed to threaten
Not allowed to
or hurt him or
firearms.
or have anybody else do it.
I'm not gonna, beat anybody up. I'm not gonna. Hold on a minute.
You cannot contact him.
Yeah,
Or
I
have
can't.
anybody contact him for you.
I can't contact him. I don't already.
You can't.
I
contact
can't
his friends.
use any of. I can't contact anybody he knows to contact him.
We're not allowed to
Don't do that already. So I mean, and I can't use, I can't. That's it. There's, that's it, y'all. It's just like okay. So 2 years. What sucks is like you got to put yourself in my spot. Like, okay, that's the stipulations for 2 years. But I can still appeal it. I can still, and I'm going to. Don't get me wrong. What's weird is though, like, it's gonna take 6 months, right? My fear is like if I appeal it, which I'm going to do, it'll take more than 6 months, and by the time it comes to court, this thing will be done, right? And I'm telling you, by that time, I won't be talking about him. I talk about all types of people, all type of scenarios, situations, events. It's so I don't know. It's just like, but at the same time, you gotta, I gotta explain it to the audience and whatnot, right?
He would have to prove it, and we would absolutely always. I mean, Matt pretty much lives on his job. I mean, if anything, Matt can just turn his location on if he doesn't have it on his phone.
So that's a good point, badass. I literally brought up in open court, literally, like I said, I'm smart enough to know someone's gonna FOIA this. Whatever YouTuber gets this is gold. And I already heard someone say Plunder is gonna get this. So another thing that you'll learn when you hear this is when talk about the protests came around, I specifically brought up, after questioning, like, well, where's said police report? Where's said evidence? I specifically brought up, Your Honor, the 2 days later, the person that was with me attending this protest, they had to get the protection order out because they were harassed and there was an arrest or a cite or somebody was ticketed to appear in court at the airport, right? I brought every single possible thing up that you guys can think of, and it's just like, it's crazy. Like at some point I thought, I don't know, it was like a 50-50, it was like a 50-50. I feel like the judge, that she absolutely did listen to a lot of what I said, and she stopped the lawyer from interrupting me, and she overruled that lady a couple times, and I feel like she gave me that much courtesy. But at the end of the day, just like I thought about, and just like I said about a week ago, I thought that her mind was already made up, which is crazy because it's the last thing that I said to her. It's the last thing that I said to her, and that's what helped me get out of the only thing that I would worry about on this.
Did you tell them how she fucking snapped on me for no reason?
No, but I'm gonna get a drink. You want to talk to him for a second? My voice is going. I don't know why.
I can.
You got hold on for a second. No, they'll also talk to y'all about court. Appeal it. I'm gonna. He will. Yeah. 502 files. A lot of y'all already know what's coming. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all already know. You guys can tell me physically how close they were. But what do you mean? They were to what? Thank you, B. Barry, 1998. Are they far apart? Who, what, how? Hey, I just joined your channel and I have a video that I know you'd love in case you haven't seen it. I'm not tech savvy,
I put my the cell phone number and the
yeah.
email on there so they can send it.
So send it and in case you didn't check and see what my wife's info is, you can send it to me at whiteboylockdownradio@yahoo.com. One thing is for sure, you can't do nothing about it now. Yeah, it's fine. You know,
Yeah, Duck, and I was thinking that too. I don't put anything past him. It's a fucking weasel. Yeah.
Duncan, you gotta hit us up after the live.
I mentioned earlier. I asked her if she would call after you were done.
I know you know what you're talking about and stuff, but you gotta give us a call if you have time. I would appreciate it.
Oh yeah, scram.
Michelle, so
Get what you have to get.
So Michelle, yeah,
chat a little bit.
Which was funny because I brought that up. I was like, you know, I brought up that I did not kick any door, which was comical because in the petition it stated that I kicked the door, right? In open court, it was said that I banged on the door.
He was very scared.
So I said,
Life,
well, which one is it? Where's the proof on either one? I was told that a police report was made because of said action, which I don't know which one I was supposedly did. But I'm asking this with already the knowledge that there has been a FOIA pulled on the police calls for that day. I already know there's none, right? And I asked the attorney, I'm like, so where can I view the police report? Oh, Your Honor, I don't have it. You brought like 7 terabytes of stuff on my channel that, you know, I was debunking left and right, but you forgot a police report? Really though? And that, wait a minute, that's what you made your decision on?
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's wild, yo. But you know, I tried to bring the FOIA point up, but there was a lot of things happening then. So I actually sent it with the officer there. I don't know if she didn't look at it, if she looked at it and didn't know what she was looking at. But what I do know is I didn't get to express that the point that another person did a FOIA request, paid for it, and there's proof. So all that happened, and
she had the guy, the bailiff.
At the very end, when I stayed back, she was like, you made disagree with my decision, this and that. I'm like, Your Honor, you based this off of something that's not even truth. And she's like trying to tell me to calm down and how she's right. I'm like, you realize there's a FOIA request from the police for
all
phone calls regarding that.
Like, I'm not the only person
She's like,
talking about it. I mean, everybody's talking about it.
She goes, well, what do you mean? I said, Your Honor, I tried to present this to you. She's like, you never said that. I'm like, yes, I did.
We enclosed it in the thing that you denied, you bitch.
So I give it to her after the mannequin and they walk out. I give it to her. And she goes from like telling me don't be mad at her decision to like reading it and like doesn't say anything. Like blank face. I feel like going booyah. Like why didn't you? What I tried to give this to you, but it's crazy. But I got all that. I have all that on the audio of open court. So on an appeal, you don't even need a video version of it. An appeal, you hear all that. I just have a right. All right, I'll be right back, Gal. Talk in the well. Come here, bro.
I shall be here.
I'll be right back, Gal. I'm gonna get something to drink.
What up? What up? Anyway, so fuck. When we got there, I don't know exactly what Matt did tell you guys already because in the beginning I was with Timber putting him to bed. But they open up with, so you filed some motions and the judge was like, you filed a motion to continue. And then the lawyer was like, I object to that, Your Honor. He doesn't have a right to an attorney, and we already had, hey honey, you know, a continuance once. So the judge, of course, was like, well, what happened? And that's how, you know, when he got into all the rest. And she's like, well, I'm going to deny all of your motions, pretty much. She's like, your request to enter witnesses, denied. Your motion to dissolve, denied. That had 14 pages of everything. I mean, like, we went down the list with help from some really awesome people putting this together. It was very, very well written. Had the judge even read it or taken, you know, 5 minutes of her time to like skim through it, she would have seen all the exhibits that you know, went, you know, allegation to allegation that idiot made. Anyway, so she denied that. She denied the continuance, and she denied the motion to dissolve, and didn't even look at all the exhibits that we entered. So after probably like an hour and a half, maybe 2 tops, we're sitting there. Finally, we go, and it's his turn to go up. So I'm sitting there, and the judge is like, is she your witness? And Matt's like, no, that's my wife. And she's like, okay, just here for support, no problem. And that was, you know, that was it. They started. Oh shit. Hey, can you check the door? I don't know if anybody's in with Timber. So they're going and talking, whatever, and the lawyer pops up with her laptop and she starts going over all this nonsense, and I'm sitting here like, oh my god, this is all BS, right? Just complete ridiculous nonsense. So I wrote on a piece of paper, because now I'm behind him, I can't say anything or tell him or hand him anything. So I wrote, you know, full disclosure. They're supposed to give you, you know, full disclosure. You're supposed to know all the evidence that she's submitting to the court so that you can properly prepare, you know, your defense better. And I put it on the seat next to him, and I pushed forward. After a little bit, I went to the bathroom. I came back in, and I pushed the chair up a little bit more when everybody was looking away. I like leaned forward and like pushed it so no one saw me. And I was like, Matt, check your chair. So he looked and he grabbed it and he's like, okay. So, all right. So all of a sudden the judge is like, I told you to get out and I want you to stay out. And I was like, what the hell? And she was like, get out. I'm like, okay, I didn't know. I was fine. Like, I had no clue, right? So I left. So I'm sitting outside, and Matt's doing, you know, whatever. And I'm like, hoping it's going well. I have no clue what's going on. So I have no idea. And I'm just like stressing about that. And when the hearing was over, that idiot comes walking out with his lawyer, and he like paused and he looked at me and smiled. I snapped. I'm sitting there, okay, I'm in a dress and a heels, and I have my legs crossed, and I'm just sitting here, just minding my business, you know, whatever. And he's like, and he smiles at me, that like stupid, you know, like spiteful smile he does. And I like flipped my leg over on the ground. I leaned forward. I'm like, you're a lying ass bitch, you fucking weasel. And he like got white in the face, the smile just like wiped off his face, and he ran, like really like sped up down the hall. And the lawyer was like, okay, we're gonna go. And she just walks over with him and she's like, do you want to go downstairs and wait? And he's like, his voice was kind of like, you know, shaky when he was talking. And so I was like, yeah, go downstairs. I'll come down with you. And he's like, I'm going to go and wait in the car. And she's like, okay, I'll bring it out to you. And then all of a sudden I hear her and she's like, can we have an escort? I was just laughing my ass off. I'm like, I hope that's not for me. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying, I'm pissed. Don't smile at me, asshole. So Matt comes out and he's telling me that they had already requested the escort. So I don't really know what all that was about, but yeah, it was just funny that he thought that he was going to look at me and smile and I was just going to like not say something. Like, I don't care.
All right, I'm back. Hey, the thing was on top of the door, the closet door, and then
Timber?
yeah, the door was open too.
I know. Well, that's because Robert must have came out earlier. Hey, Tim. Here, let me say hi. You want to say
All
hi?
right.
Come on, baby.
My voice is going anyhow,
Here.
so I get this.
Hold on. Let Tim say hi. Come on, Bubbles.
The camera.
Trying. Timber.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll have to step away. I got, my damn voice was going.
Say
How long about this thing?
hi. Say hi, babies. Hi, mamas.
What's up, Sierra? What's happening? Good for you. I don't know.
He is spoiled.
Timber got it big. Here we go. He's getting big. Look how big he is. Come to the camera, babe.
He's tired. He wants to go in my shirt and go night. He's
Look how big
about.
this dude got.
He's about a pound now.
So I'm behind. I don't know what Noel was telling y'all. Is this when he? No, no, that was earlier. Your hair is bloody beautiful. So when you're, so he's yours. Yeah, it was weird.
Come on.
She said, "Be on his door."
Yeah.
Crimes is paying attention. That's crazy. You're very attentive. You know, like I said, man, like I said, YouTubers are gonna get this, and it's just part of being on YouTube. There's no doubt in my mind people are gonna FOIA this and whatever else, but it's your comments crazy because like there were like a lot of people were getting caught in like a lot of lies, and there was a part where like
Say hi.
I remember
Not up there, baby.
like the judge was like, well, wait a minute, if you were live, how were you watching another person's live? And like people were getting caught in lies, and then people were crying. Like it's almost like if I could like it's weird. Like I feel like the hell was that?
I told you were gonna.
I feel like people,
I'll get it.
or maybe, or something like.
Careful.
I feel like when y'all, whenever somebody finally does this, and
Here, you gotta plug it in.
my OGs already know. You know what I'm saying? I break it down. I keep it real. But for the naysayers, for the doubters, for the people who don't know me, for the people who may think for some odd reason not telling the truth, when you do see this for yourself, it's almost like you could probably make a.
Hey, yeah.
You're gonna see like getting caught in lie, getting caught in lie, getting caught in lie, and then cry. It's like lie, cry, lie, cry, lie, cry, and maybe that's what exactly is what you're gonna see. So it's crazy because at the end of the day, I was like, what is happening here? How is this getting granted? And hey, man, at the end of the day, in my opinion, you already know why. I already stated it. I don't want to keep repeating myself. It is what it is. We will. I don't know. It's going dead or something.
It's going dead.
It's not charged.
Well, where's the?
But I want to take some comments real fast. What I do know is
Will this plug charge it?
yeah. dude.
camera.
How'd you unplug the camera?
I didn't. I didn't touch the camera.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, I thought you
didn't
did.
touch the head. Like,
This-
I'm sitting in the chair.
I got it. It just went dead for something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, y'all. That's it, man. I mean, I don't know really what else to tell y'all. I'm breaking it down. Y'all will see for yourself. I know it's kind of unbelievable.
It's less that it's unbelievable and more than it's just nonsense and bullshit. It's just like a really ridiculous series of events. The entire stupid thing. Did Timber get daddy?
Of course, that's what I'm talking about. What you mean, Willis?
What you talking about? Willis, come here, Jim Jim.
Yeah, but when it was about 10, it was the squirrel. I'm gonna be driving and listening. So yeah, that's all it is, man. I don't know. I just wanted to give y'all an update. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, itchy boys.
I don't really know how, like, you know, what else to say. I'm trying to give you all the facts, exactly what happened, break it down. But at the end of the day, you know, I don't want to come on here and I don't know, you know, it puts me in a bad spot because shut up.
I gotta get my baby.
It puts me in a bad spot because, like,
Bedtime, Timber.
I'm trying to, you know,
Come on, now, go ahead.
look, I don't know how else to say it. She made her decision, you know what I'm saying, off of I don't know what. And all I can say is you guys will see it off of a FOIA. I know that you will, because I know how YouTube works. So all I can do is come here and tell y'all what happened. Eventually you'll see it for yourself. You're like, damn, White Boy broke it down exactly how it went. I asked for, like, you know, I asked for proof and this and that. I don't know why the continuance was denied. I don't know why my lawyer did what he did. But other than that, I already knew how it was going to go. I actually talked myself cool down. I tried to compose myself. I tried to give some rebuttal, and I did do good. She actually stopped, said lawyer a few times, sided with me. A lot of this was just social media. It was all social media hearsay. It was all like just ridiculousness, right? But at the end of the day, because look, put it like this. At the end, when the decision was made, if I would have, me making videos, me talking, me doing this, me doing that, doesn't matter if people don't like it, doesn't matter if people get their feelings hurt, it doesn't matter what happens, it's free speech.
Nobody
But
wants to
when
like
you
it.
leave, when I leave this house and I go over here, that's when I lose everything. Because, and this is just my opinion, and I just went through it. Why? Because I'm giving someone else a narrative, and literally a narrative to fill in the blanks, right? Did I leave the house? Yeah, we went and we did a protest, Justice for Magnolia, right? I'm raising domestic violence awareness. And even after the hearing, I thought it was a great thing. We talked to a lot of people. But at the end of the day,
There you go, baby girl.
at the end of the day, people can say whatever they want. And because I'm not here doing Justice for Magnolia, it becomes a different situation, right? And that's just, that is just what it is, at least for Florida. I can't even say that, because if a lawyer was in here, if I had the little success that I had, if I had a lawyer and he can, which I fucking did, but if he could push back, I don't think that it would have went the way that it did. But I mean, you know, I don't know really what else to say, but This was about domestic violence. And if you take anything away from this, if you viewed the whole thing, if you've been here from day one, if you saw the whole thing for yourself, it should even give you more insight up to the gaslighting, up to the manipulative tactics, up to all that.
Can I say their names? Did you hear? Because just Amy's asking.
What is this?
Journalist Zachary.
What is this?
Petruzo. There, she's asking about the Turning Point USA. She wants to know. I don't know what event or when it was, but I can tell you the names.
No, hold off on that. We're going to report on that. We're going to report on that when we can. Not right now. Who's asking for that?
Just Amy. She said her daughter works, I believe, for Turning Point.
Just Amy. You should probably reach out.
I'll put my information.
I'm gonna get into that in a timely manner, from the house.
Here
but
you
yeah,
go, Amy.
It makes it all weird. At the end of the day, people kept saying, leading up to this court date, that I was hitting on something, that I was getting close. I don't know. I got a lot of messages, a lot of people saying that, and then coming closer to the court date, there was things getting speculated and talked about, and is in with the Turning Point USA stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, and only answer if you know. That is documented in court, correct?
Yeah.
So there's these.
It should be.
At the end of the day, I'm here. I lost. I'm fighting fangirls. There's people denying stuff,
Yes.
blind loyalty. At the end of the day, there's weirdo stuff going on.
It says that there was a lawsuit filed.
So that's all I can say. I'll get into it in the future. This has been a long ass day. It's been a long couple days since this fucking lawyer did what he did.
All right.
And I'm just gonna jump off this thing after some comments. I don't want to get into it now. I'm not gonna do none of that.
What I want to say though is that all things considered, all the stress and nonsensical bullshit and unneeded drama, my husband handled it really well. He conducted himself perfectly in court. I mean, there wasn't anything that he could have done better or more. He handled it perfectly. Actually, he handled it better than the lawyer on the idiot side did. It was really something that I wish I could have seen the entire thing play out without getting tossed out of the stupid courtroom for no reason. But I mean, it happens.
I know y'all. I know I got y'all support, and I know y'all seen it. And this is just the beginning.
Hey, Rob.
You guys are gonna see everything I've been talking about play out in front of your faces, just like you have been the entire time. The stuff with the Turning Point USA is court documented and stuff like that. You guys can do your own research. Well, I'll get into it and I'll talk about it when I can have a voice. But
thank you guys for being there and always just being on our side to show support and love. It really does mean a lot, even if we don't always all agree on the same subject and situation.
Yeah,
you guys are amazing.
I didn't lose because look, this is what I can do, babe.
Yes, honey.
I love you.
I love you more.
I never put my hands on you. Never.
Not enough.
So I can say that. Right? I don't go to sleep at night with Ted Investigates or Alex. You know what I'm saying? I have happiness. People can't really say that. The best thing going for certain people have been beat up, unfortunately. And that's why it's crazy. This was about domestic violence awareness.
I was sitting there listening to some horrible cases. And I actually looked at Matt and I was just like, this is ridiculous. This is a waste of time. We don't belong here. This is not a domestic violence case. It's nothing like this. These people deserve to be heard in here. And what is going on with us is a joke. Like we should never have been in there with people that truly had some terrible things happening to them.
So yeah,
It was horrible.
I'm sure you guys are going to hear about the weirdo allegations. And again, it's just like, you know, what, and not only when it does come out, if it's not out already, which I think it is, but like for the people who are, you know, supporting and wanting me to win and stuff, I appreciate it. I just don't know what to say. You know, I'm giving you the truth. This will all come out. You'll all see it.
Sign
You
this
guys will be back in the
petition.
comments being like,
Can you highlight that?
but
Badass.
what is weird is like the weirdo allegations. This is nothing new, and you're gonna stop seeing the fangirls even less and less. Even like the hardcore ones, like it at some point, like they will be defending weird stuff, you know. And it's just like I don't know where to, you know, what I don't even know what to do. Like I reckon in the near future, I'm gonna have severe hardcore weirdo fangirls on the sly give me apologies, and I don't want it. I don't want it. It's just, you know, what I want is more awareness, and what I want is the bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? I would do all this over again for the same cause, right? It didn't cost me nothing much to go out there and protest. Yeah, this happened. At the end of the day, who gives a fuck?
It was for
And
a good cause.
I would do it again for the same cause.
Exactly.
I would do it again. And in the future, if something like this
makes it
happens
worth
again with another YouTuber or whatever, I'm gonna keep doing what White Boy does. I'm gonna keep talking about what I want. So who lost,
true.
right? Who lost?
10 years in the making, and I can't shut him the fuck up.
But all right, y'all, I'm gonna jump off here because I can't even keep talking. I have no voice.
Can I get you a drink? Baby, you want to drink, cough drop, something?
I'll take a cough drop. But I'm gonna jump off, y'all. I gotta get my workout in. Look, man, you know, I keep it real over here. Sometimes, man, people put protection orders on me. Sometimes I make grown men cry. Sometimes, guys, this happens. This is what truth does, y'all. But until the next one, and until the next adventure, the next awareness campaign, whatever we decide to do, I will always keep it real. That's what I can promise you. And you will never find no weirdo stuff about me. There may be a protection order here or there or whatever, but nothing weird. And I don't hit women and never will, right? But, you know, if grown men want to cry about my words, then that means you're winning. Until the next one, White Boy, I'm out. Peace. What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe to my clip channel at White Boy Radio Clips, and in the description box is the link to be a member. Become a member if you can. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart. Peace.